What's going on, traders? Andrew O'Connell with Pristine Capital coming at you with yet another market recap video. It is July 23rd, 2021. Please go ahead and click the like button on this video and subscribe to my channel if you enjoyed this content. I will continue to make it for you. Today, we're going to talk about the price action in the indices, some wild price action. We're going to go under the hood and we'll check out our sectors and style factors. We'll talk about some of my trades for the day, and then we'll wrap up with options order flow. It is Friday, which is awesome. Before we jump into all that, quick risk disclaimer: nothing in the video should be construed as investment advice or recommendations. Please follow your own trading plan, your own risk parameters, and last but certainly not least, do not YOLO your entire account to any one of my trades. All right, let's jump into it. And let's check it out. S&P 500. Let's go through the box scores. SPY up 1.03%. NASDAQ QQQ up 1.17%. We have the IWM small caps, which are our laggard for today, up 0.47%. And we have the Dow Jones up 0.66%. So really nice performances across the board. And oh my gosh, look at this. So who would have thought at this Monday was such doom and gloom? Who would have thought that in the next 4 trading days we would be literally, right back at new all-time highs? It's so wild. But here we are. So now at this point, we're trading at 4408 on the S&P 500, and we are extended from both the 5-day EMA as well as the 20-day simple moving average. Pretty crazy how quickly you can go from, oversold to overextended. You can see we have this R2 pivot level here at 44.24.25. Could the market hit that level at some point next week? Definitely. We have the Fed meeting next Wednesday. So who knows what that will bring. A lot of times we do get some sort of market dip into the Fed meeting. So where my head is at is like, okay, we're really extended from this 5-day EMA. I would imagine at some point next week, we're at least going to tag that 5-day. So I'm just trying to, keep my expectations, tethered to reality. Today was amazing, but, we'll see what next week brings. NASDAQ also just ripping to a new high. And this is like a really clean takeout of the prior high. We had so many of these NASDAQ names really, ripping higher today. We had Facebook doing very well. We had Google, some nice participation across the board there. Now let's pull up Russell. Russell's been the weak link. And you can see, it's still the weak link. At one point, it went red intraday, and then some dip buyers came in to buy this one. But yeah, this, you can tell the strength is not with the small caps right now. We're below all these key moving averages as well. And then let's go over to YM. That's our Dow Jones. Dow Jones, nice little breakout here above the monthly value area. But you can see we're still kind of like stuck in this zone where we actually got stopped a few times before, where it looked like, maybe the Dow Jones is going to do something special, and, we sort of got rejected. So we'll have to see next week, if we can actually follow through on the Dow. All right, let's go a level deeper. We'll go to the market breadth. Market breadth was positive today. Look at this, 82% advancers in the SPY, 86% in the Qs. Worst was the IWM. And then even the Dow Jones, 80%. So this is fantastic breadth. Tough to miss when the wind is at your back, with this amazing breadth here. And then checking out our heat map. As we were saying earlier, this was pretty much all catalyzed. So yesterday, Twitter reported, really good earnings, and Snapchat, just blew out their earnings. So it was kind of like, technology stocks already had a ton of momentum, and that really just push them over the edge. That was like the catalyst that really just, made these things go crazy today. We had Google up 3.58%. Facebook was up, significantly. Check this out. I think this was up like almost 6%. Yeah, 5.3%. So this is kind of funny. This looks like a power earnings gap setup. Facebook hasn't even reported earnings yet. Facebook reports earnings on the 28th, which is next Wednesday. So this one, it's already like, pop the champagne, some of these advertising companies are doing well. We know Facebook had a good print. So everybody just piled in. Look at this volume here. Google, kind of similar deal. Yeah, I guess, analysts, they probably see the earnings that Snapchat put up in Twitter, and they're going, okay, so let's extrapolate that to these other names, that also receive advertising revenue. So yeah, Google did very well. Roku, really nice day, up 12.6%. And you can see Roku is pretty much challenging the prior all-time highs. Roku, if we pull up the weekly, yeah, this, it's been a long road for Roku. This one had a really big dip. But what's funny is, like, when you look at the big picture, this really just looks like, okay, this is a cup. Maybe we get some, maybe this is the handle, or maybe we continue to build out a handle. But yeah, Roku, it's definitely, done its time in terms of just, consolidating these gains over here. Now let's go to, we have our heat map. Let's go to our sectors. So sectors, we have the IGV ETF, which is an awesome performer of 1.32%. That's now in our top slot in terms of sector momentum. We have medical devices also leading. And let's see what we had here. Yeah, and the global social media ETF was actually, one of the top names. Home builders as well. So yeah, a lot of areas that were very strong. KWEB, this Chinese internet ETF, just keeps getting clobbered. So the latest thing was the Chinese, they did a crackdown on the education center. So it affected some of these companies, like there's one ticker symbol is Dow, there's another one TAL, and that doesn't really have much feed through to the other Chinese companies like the Futus, Alibabas, Pinduoduos. But I think what it's telling investors is just like, the Chinese government, if they really want to, they can just completely disrupt your business model, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's definitely scary for investors. And if we pull up some of these Chinese names, you'll see incredible. So like this one, Dow, got smoked, down 40%. TAL down 70%. And then even the names that weren't affected, like Futu down 7.47%. Futu, this could make for a nice setup. I'll be watching this one next week to see if we can reclaim this low right here. And then Baba, which I currently have long. Baba acted very well today. Look at this. So we had just a little itty bitty hammer candle, and we closed pretty much right on the high today. I actually really like the way that this one acted. So we got those that was like our big underperformer. And then the solar energy stocks also underperformed. Now let's check out our style factors. Style factors. Best performing style factor was growth, followed by quality. And that makes sense because a lot of the mega cap, FANG names were performing very well. And then our one underperformer was the high beta ETF, SPHB, which was down 0.01%. But overall, pretty fantastic day in the markets. Always good to just ride off into the weekend like this. Pretty awesome. And then we'll pull up some of my trades here. Okay, here's some of my trades for today. And my rationale was, hey, I don't want to go too crazy adding risk. Let me just, clean up what I have. I'll get rid of some of, the trades that aren't working as well. Maybe take some targets. And that's really that. Because, a lot of these technology stocks, at this point, they're very overbought. It's like if we pull up the Qs. And I do have this bridge band indicator. It's almost like a Bollinger Band, just a little bit different. And in terms of something's like overbought, oversold, I'll pull this one up. And you can see, we're just trading right through that band. So this to me, like day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, if you caught things like early in the day today, you still did great. But I just didn't want to be that person like, I've been buying stuff the last couple days. Do I really want to be buying day 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the rally? Not really. So I tried to just keep it nice and tight today. So I closed out. I had some Disney calls. This one just didn't really work. Disney, the Mighty Mouse, really just lost steam. Had a really nice move, And then it's just not really moving quite as quickly as some of the other names I have in the portfolio. So I closed out some call options there. Goldman Sachs. This one, I just took a small target on this one. I took it off for a small winner here. And I was just like, you know what? I don't want to be in Goldman. So this one, ended up closing positive for the day. Could it still make its move? Absolutely. But I closed it out, at a higher price than where we ended up for the day. So I closed that. So I closed that for $16.90. I'd paid $15.05. I actually took some Q's puts. So I took on the August 11th 368 strike puts for $5.38. I just sit here seeing some euphoria in technology today after the Snap and Twitter results, buying these in case we get a dip into the Fed meeting next week. The Fed meeting really changes everything. That's another reason where it's like I don't want to just load up literally into the Fed meeting. A lot of times, you can get a little dip. So I just bought these puts, just in case that happens. And then Global E, this GLBE, I took a target on this position. So I entered a limit order to sell 20% of my position at $65, and that limit hit. So I closed out 20%. For 65, I'd paid 55.15. So it ended up being a nice winner for me. And I took my target. So now at this point, I'll let the rest of this trade play out. I took my target and then I also moved my stop up. This Global E just looks fantastic. This is really nice price action. And this is, pretty much a classic high tight flag. So I took my target, raised my stop. So we're looking good on that one. Let's pull up some options order flow here. And I would imagine this put to call ratio, it's probably going to be like a 0.1 tonight. It's going to be like ridiculously low, I would think, just because the price action was so bullish. So here's our trade tape. This is via VigTech. Let's go to our options race. Let's see the flows for today. This just shows you throughout the day the option flows it was coming in. This looks like a lot of SPY flow. Still Amazon with a ton of flow. And I'm long an Amazon call spread. Okay, so you can see a lot of these tech names: Amazon, Tesla, Facebook, Roku down here, and Snapchat. Let's pull some of these guys up. Snapchat is going to be, a really nice power earnings gap setup. And this one, it had been trading within this range for months and months and months. None of the breakouts were working. Then finally, we get this earnings report and we get a nice power earnings gap here that I'll be looking to for next week. And then Roku, we already went through. Facebook had its really nice move today as well. And then I'm seeing some other names in addition, like Match Group. This one not quite there, but this one very close to taking out this pivot. This one might have to go through earnings as well in order to really take it out definitively. So we had Match, some others, SE, which is, kind of trying to stick this breakout. We're kind of like curling higher. We'll see if this one can go beyond 300 next week. And let's see if there's any others that are really sticking out. Look at our Tradescape. Facebook, of course, Roku. Let's take a look at Square. A lot of call activity for Square for early August. 240 strike, 255 strike, 235. Let's check it out. Square didn't really stick the landing. Only closed up 1.31%. This is kind of tough. Let's take a look at Twitter. Twitter reported good earnings, and you can see, earnings were digested. We closed up 3.05%. I think it's a good thing that we were able to close above this pivot level, but it doesn't really seem, it's not like we just completely blew off either. So I'll take it. Last Twitter earnings report, this is what Twitter did. Boom, huge drop. And that actually gave me the opportunity to enter my January 2022 call. So we'll take it. For Twitter investors, it's funny. Somebody posts on Twitter like, Anytime Twitter reports earnings and it's not just like a complete failure, it's almost like a win for investors. Every time it's not just like a huge gap down. So I definitely agree with that. Yeah, that's our options order flow for today. Hope you all have an awesome weekend, and I will see you all on Monday.